We will now have a presentation by Charles Akwe Masango from South Africa. And Charles will talk to us about fear and indigenous proverbs designed at molding the character of children. I give the floor to Charles.
Family, thanks very much for at least coming up with this online conference. When the COVID-19 started, I thought that this was the end of the story, but it came to a point where Prof and Marinella, called me and came up with this good idea. I should once more say, congratulations, Prof. Congratulations, Marinella. I know you people are not sleeping and you are doing a fabulous job back in Portugal. Again, with the technical team, I should say, we are a family with all that we need. Congratulations, and I'm happy that we are here, to at least once more get these presentations online. I've just listened to James, to Professor James speak. Again, it gave us a very good starting. Last year, we were all in Tavira, a lovely city. And when we were there, I gave a little talk on copyright issues within indigenous proverbs, and I mentioned some Bakosi proverbs of Cameroon. Today, we are going to be looking at something else, indigenous proverbs designed at molding the characters of children, and I'm asking the question, does the element of fear play a role? Fortunately, I'm here today with Stella. Those of you who've been listening to my talks, I always give mention to her, and she is here today at least to give her own little contribution to this talk. This talk is going to take the following itinerary. I'm going to look at the research question, rationale for the research question, rationale for molding children's characters through proverbs. Then we're going to look at Bakosi proverbs that encompass dreadful and non-dreadful elements meant for molding the characters of children, possible reasons why the dreadful and non-dreadful elements may and may not influence the molding of children's characters. Then we look at the possible measures through which the dreadful elements may be overcome, and ladies and gentlemen, will conclude and start looking at other issues. I am now going to look at the research question. What is the research question that holds this paper? I always say for any paper that you write, there should be a research question that holds tight that paper. And the research question here is whether indigenous proverbs based on culture and language intended at molding the characters of children would be effective. Why not? As such proverbs encompass frightful and non-frightful elements that may scare and not scare children. Next. The rationale for the research question stems from the fact that culture and language are intertwined in such a way that the death of language automatically marks the death of a culture that such language carried. Following that, culture is a prismatic paradigm for children's development. It is appropriate that there is a need for a radical revival of the indigenous language and its strong metaphorical use, which include proverbs that are supposedly endowed with the survival instinct and value of the people. Having seen the research question and its rationale, family. What then is the rationale for molding children's characters through Proverbs? Among the rationale is that Proverbs act as catalysts of knowledge, wisdom, philosophy, ethics, and morals. Another rationale is that Proverbs are not only a source of knowledge, a reference, but they are guides for good conduct. Again, since Proverbs make up part of the traditional creative practical wisdom, it is considered irrational. Following that, Proverbs are a short popular saying that express a truth or an experience or thought in the metaphoric language qualifies Proverbs for molding children's characters. Again, in Africa, oral communication is rich in Proverbs that it disseminates into African culture, and with this, it qualifies Proverbs for molding children's characters. Another rationale for molding children's characters through Proverbs is that Proverbs encourage curiosity about their meanings. Proverbs go beyond the generic to unearth meaning and provide clarification that may be instrumental in the molding of the character of a child. Now, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, let's now look at the Bakossi proverbs that encompass these frightful or dreadful and non-dreadful elements. Bakossi proverbs, I'll hand over to at least the expert in this field in the person of Stella Nge. She is my wife, for those who don't know, and I think once the time is clear, she's going to show her face in Tavira, and for you all to see her in person. Now I hand over to her to tell us some of these Bakossi proverbs, otherwise known. She knows better.
Good afternoon, everyone. I proceed. Bakossi proverbs, otherwise known as Ngan Ekose in Bakossi language, encompass frightful elements designed at molding the character of children. For example, the proverb that say, "Mwanyo akogenzi animemi akokenlo asel." In the English language, a snake that is old enough to cross the road is also old enough for its head to be cut off.
Yeah, the expert have told us.
Please turn on the video.
Sorry?
Please turn on the video.
We are having issues here.
We are having problems here switching on that video.
And
okay.
Yeah, there we are. But now, how do we get to the presentation? If I go to the presentation, the video is off.
Okay.
So I just go on with the presentation. Because when I go to the presentation, the video is off. Now, Stella has given, minimize it. Stella has given us that proverb, and the origin of this proverb is that however small a snake may be, it possesses a threat because it is considered an enemy. This proverb in the Bakossi language means that when a child is big enough to cause problems, he or she is ready to face the consequences. Let's hear her give us another dreadful proverb.
Another Bakossi proverb that entails a dreadful element is that one that say, "Bebweme zio ami mimbom." In the English language, it means you don't shoot an elephant on the forehead.
Yes, again, the origin of this proverb is that shooting an elephant in the forehead drives it wild, making it risky for the hunter. This proverb in the Bakossi language means that you don't challenge an elder in the face of many in public.
There are non-dreadful proverbs as well that assist in molding the character of children. For example, the proverb that says, "Nzip echune emwanwan," in the English language, it means when a deer grows old, it breastfeeds from the child.
Yes, she's told us and given us those dreadful proverbs, naming the snake and the elephant, and now she comes up to the deer. I would say the origin of this proverb is that when parents become old, they look up to their children to take care of them. This proverb in the Bakosi language means that when a parent becomes old, the children are naturally expected to take care of them.
Another non-dreadful Bakosi proverb is the one that says, "Eku eniaku ewe emwan." In the English language, it means the leg of the mother hen does not kill a chick.
Thank you very much. You've given us two proverbs, dreadful and non-dreadful. And this last proverb, looking at the leg of the mother hen, the origin of this proverb is that the leg of the mother hen has hardly killed her chick. This proverb in the Bakosi language means that a disciplinary measure inflicted upon a child by a parent is not intended to harm that child. How then? We've seen those proverbs, both the dreadful and non-dreadful. Now let's look at the possible reasons why dreadful and non-dreadful elements may and may not influence molding children's characters. Possible reasons why the dreadful elements embedded in proverbs may be more rigorous in molding children's character. Adults consider both snakes and elephants as deadly. We all are afraid of snakes. We all are afraid of elephants. No one will tell me that he or she is not afraid of this deadly. In instances where a snake or an elephant is mentioned in a proverb, may have an influence in molding most children's characters, as children may not want to have anything to do with reptiles or mammals. On the other hand, why the non-dreadful elements such as the deer and the leg of the mother hen may be less influential in molding the characters of children is because the deer and the mother hen are not harmful. The mention of a deer and the leg of a mother hen does not stir up any dreadful scenario, nor does it evoke a dreadful scenario. What then are the possible measures through which these fearful elements may be overcome? Family, the dreadful elements of the snake and elephant can be curbed when, for instance, the dreadfulness in these creatures are demystified by including the good sides of both the snake and elephant in the proverbs. Hence, the proverb that relates to the snake will read as follows. A snake that is old enough to cross the road is also old enough for its head to be cut off, notwithstanding that snakes are good creatures. And the proverb that dealt with the elephant will go this way. You don't shoot an elephant on the forehead, as elephants are good animals. By including the positive elements in the proverbs, a new proverb is established. This is germane or important as knowledge progresses, not towards the definitive, but towards the infinite. Knowledge builds upon itself, incrementally improving upon ideas until the cumulative adds to a new knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm concluding here by saying the person then who establishes the new proverb from the original proverb automatically owns the copyright of the new proverb if the proverb is in literary form. This is because we always say copyright only deals with works that are in literary form. Thoughts and ideas are not copyrighted. For you to gain or to have possession of anything in copyright, which is a facet of IP, intellectual property, it must be in literary form. Ladies and gentlemen, good family in Tavira, I'm happy at least we've given you the little that we prepared for this colloquium. We are going to send the full paper. The full paper is ready. So after the colloquium, we are going to mail the full paper to Prof to put in our proceedings. And I will always encourage people to read these proceedings as they make very good sense of what Tavira is building as far as Proverbs are concerned all over the world. Prof, I wish you all the best. Marinella, I wish you the best. Let's hope that we meet again next year when the COVID-19 allows us. I'm looking forward to meeting you people in our beautiful city of Tavira and the beautiful family that makes up the family in Tavira. Thanks very much. You are most welcome.
Thank you, Charles, for your very interesting presentation. Here are some questions from the audience. Oti asked, are elephants and snakes also respected animals, not only feared?
That are elephants and snakes what?
If whether they are respected animals, not only feared animals.
Oh yes. You see, in Africa, we consider elephants and snakes as dreadful animals. But you know, back in Europe and North America, maybe because we've seen them, these animals are used, you know, in circuits. But in Africa, I will tell you the truth, whenever we see a snake or an elephant, we know it's danger. You know, these are untamed animals, but those that you find in these circuits and in zoos, some of the zoos in Europe, they are not as wild as the ones we've got back home. Hence, when you are trying to mold the characters of a child and you mention this type of animals or these mammals, children are always afraid. They are frightened because they know these are dangerous creatures. Now, a deer and the mother hen, we grow chicken all over our compounds in Africa. We know these are not dreadful animals or dreadful creatures. So if you are trying to mold the character of a child and you mention a deer or the hen of a mother chick, the leg of a mother chick, they laugh. The children will just laugh and know you are just clowning because these are not dreadful. But when you mention those dreadful ones, then they know there's something serious coming up here, you know. And that is why we decided to come up with these proverbs to make sure that at least we put it in line with the children's characters, how it can be molded properly.
Another question, who uses this kind of fear proverbs? Parents, grandparents, local teachers, authorities?
Well, these proverbs are used by elders. Elders in general. We have a say in Africa that a child is the property of the village. Once a child comes out, the child is the property of the village. The child does not belong to one. The child is not yours once the child is out. It takes the whole village to bring up the child. Hence, anyone in the village, an elder, has the right to correct children. And even if they are beaten, just as the mother hen's leg can smash on the child, this is not considered as tormenting that child. The villagers know that you have the right to correct any child in the village, because we always want our children to grow up with good manners. You have anything to say?
No, it's fine.
Thank you very much again, Charles.